1, 2, is this on?
Most matches start and finish in the ring, as a squared circle seeks to keep the wrestling contained to one place. But sometimes the ring itself can become damaged, or it can even break altogether. This is unique because it adds a completely different dynamic to what we know a wrestling match to be. And while the ring breaking is rare, it's happened often enough that today, we're counting down 10 times the ring broke in wrestling. We start with a ring collapse that was actually caused by the fans, as following a bloody encounter between the Public Enemy and the Gangsters, the Public Enemy would celebrate their victory by inviting members from the crowd into the ring. The fans duly obliged as they continued to fill the ring, to the point where they even covered all of the apron, all while Johnny Grunge and Rocco Rock were being hoisted high above those in the ring. However, soon the rowdiness of the fans and the sheer amount of bodies in the ring caused it to completely collapse. This made for an insane visual, as something like this had never been seen before in wrestling. The people continued to go crazy, with fans even being seen crawling out of the rubble. It was moments like this that made us love ECW so much, as no other major promotion made the fans part of the show more than they did. Next, we go to a tag team match from Raw in the fall of 1999. Here, the New Age Outlaws would take on the Acolytes in a physical tag team encounter. In fact, the bout was so physical it caused the top turnbuckle to completely come off, where it would then be used as a weapon, leading to Billy Gunn being busted open. Despite the bloodshed, the Outlaws managed to score the victory following a chair shot.
You idiot, help! Oh!
The rope breaking gave the match a very different feel, and it was fun to see how the wrestlers used the surroundings to their advantage. Plus, it also made the Acolytes seem even tougher, since they were so physical that part of the ring came off, while the Outlaws showed how much of a beating they could take, while still coming away with the win. A recent example of the ring breaking happened at a WWE live event in Newcastle during a match between Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley. Both men would run towards the ropes on opposite sides of the ring. McIntyre would hit first, but he would lose his footing slightly due to the top rope snapping off. Things were much worse for Lashley though, as the Almighty reached the ropes a second later than Drew, meaning Lashley had no rope to shoot off from, resulting in him crashing and burning to the outside.
Claymore. Oh!
This was an extremely scary moment, as Lashley had little control over how and where he landed. Thankfully though, his head just missed colliding with the apron, and he was able to land onto the mat on the outside without suffering injury. The two finished the match with the top rope missing as McIntyre grabbed the win. But all fans were talking about afterwards was how Bobby Lashley was lucky to be okay following such a dangerous accident. We're gonna now look at the ring breaking, all thanks to the work of just one man. This happened on the third episode of WCW Thunder back in 1998. At the end of the show, Kevin Nash attempted to gore the Giant into hitting him. As if the Giant did attack Big Sexy, then their upcoming match at Sold Out would have been called off. Instead of taking the bait though, the Giant took out his anger by uprooting the ring post, which led to the ring itself ultimately giving way.
I've never seen a human being do anything like this in my life. He do Saturday at Sold Out to Kevin Nash. Unbelievable.
This was a great angle to end the show, as it got over how badly the Giant wanted to get his hands on Nash. And while Scott Hall's selling in the ring may have come across a bit comical, the show certainly ended with the Giant looking like an angry monster who couldn't wait to put a beating on Kevin Nash at the pay-per-view, even though that isn't quite what ended up happening. While our last example achieved what it set out to do, our next one just left fans scratching their heads. And it went down at the main event of the 2021 Extreme Rules pay-per-view, where Roman Reigns defended the Universal Championship against the Demon Finn Balor. Deep into the bout, the Demon climbed to the top, ready to hit his coup de grace finisher. However, before he could do it, the rope gave way underneath him and Balor fell to the mat. As he struggled back to his feet, Finn would then be met with a spear, which managed to get the 3 count and the win for Roman Reigns. No storyline reason was ever given as to why the rope malfunctioned. And unlike with other examples on this list, there was no legitimate force applied to the rope that should have caused it to collapse. Now, in reality, we know it was the cameraman standing on the apron that cut the rope. However, it would have made more sense if this spot had been done by a member of the Bloodline who were a part of Reigns' posse on the outside. Now for a more realistic example of the rope coming off. This occurred during a tag match when Keith Lee and Sheamus teamed up to wrestle The Miz and John Morrison. The top rope came clean off.
Oh my God!
Instead of finishing the match with the rope missing like we saw in our previous examples, the WWE decided to use this moment as a way to cut to commercial, with the hope that the rope coming off would shock fans enough to stay tuned after the break. When Raw did return though, we were met with a member of the ring crew fixing the rope back in place, whilst Keith Lee had the Miz in a rest hold. Not the best follow-up to what was without a doubt a really cool moment. Next we have proof of how even a small amount of damage done to a part of the ring can cause the wrestlers to have to switch up their match, as we head back to the 2002 UK exclusive Insurrection pay-per-view. To close the show, The Undertaker fought Triple H. At the beginning of the match, the ropes already appeared to be loose, but it wasn't until the game Irish Whip Taker against them that the top rope malfunctioned and would then sag downwards for the rest of the match.
Welcome the Undertaker.
This limited any further spots the wrestlers could do involving the ropes, since any further pressure could have damaged them more, thus increasing the risk of an accident or injury. Each of the remaining moments on our list show just what can happen to the ring when super heavyweights battle on the top rope. We'll go first to an episode of Raw in 2017 where the 7-foot Big Show clashed with the 6'8" Braun Strowman. This match was hard hitting right from the jump, while also later treating us as some big men chain wrestling, which was as surreal as it sounds. But things got even crazier when the two giants climbed the turnbuckle with Big Show on the top rope and Braun on the second. From there, Strowman was able to hit a superplex on Show as nearly 800 pounds derailed the entire ring. With even the referee John Cone getting upended to the outside, it was one hell of a moment and would be the first of 2 times a move involving Braun Strowman destroyed the entire ring, as the next time Strowman would be on the receiving end after being superplexed by The Fiend at the Payback 2020 event. But no superstar would feature in more famous ring destructions than the Big Show, as 6 years before he and Strowman broke the ring, the world's strongest man Mark Henry would live up to his name when he superplexed the Big Show, causing the squared circle to explode at Vengeance 2011. Following this, the match was deemed a no contest as neither man could continue, but the WWE title was still to be decided, and the carnage left from Henry's superplex to Big Show made the show's main event far more interesting, as John Cena and Alberto Del Rio were forced to wrestle with the ring completely broken. They made good use of this with numerous unique spots that exploited the destroyed ring around them in what ended up being a great last man standing match. Finally, we have perhaps the most famous ring break in wrestling history. It also involved the world's largest athlete, the Big Show, as he went up against Brock Lesnar on SmackDown in 2003. Show knew he had to pull out all the stops if he was to defeat Lesnar, and therefore attempted a chokeslam from the top rope. Brock was able to counter and then looked to hit a top rope maneuver of his own, that being a 500-pound superplex.
500-pound superplex!
This annihilated the ring as it looked and sounded as though a bomb had just gone off. The crowd would go absolutely nuts with holy shit chants ringing around the arena. As Michael Cole and Taz perfectly sold the magnitude of what had just happened. This would go down as one of the most memorable moments in WWE history, especially since fans have never seen anything like it before, which explains their reaction. And as we've seen from this list, the WWE have tried to replicate this numerous times since, but none have had the same effect as when the Big Show and Brock Lesnar imploded the ring on SmackDown. And that brings us to the end of this video. As always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you like this one, be sure to check out our video on 10 times WWE fans hijacked the match. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.